Hey everyone, my name is Buster Green, and I am an anime YouTuber who, reviews anime. But every once in a while I review cartoons. So today I'm going to do a second critical analysis video. This time I'm focusing on the mind-boggling new Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers trailer for the reboot of that beloved cartoon. Now this is the second episode I'm doing of this kind of video. It's kind of a more detailed reaction video where I break down shit that I'm not really sure what to make of, and I break it down frame by frame so I can look at everything. The first episode I did of this, I was critically analyzing the opening to Netflix Cowboy Bebop, and considering where that went, I'm honestly exasperated. It was way worse than I imagined it would be. So with this trailer, we're in a similar kind of boat. Just being real with you guys, I have no idea what to make of this movie from this trailer. I'm very 50-50 torn between, oh, this looks good, and oh, this looks awful. Like, I'm not sure if this is fucking raping my childhood, or holy shit, this might be the grim and gritty stealth Roger Rabbit universe sequel I never knew I needed. So, over the course of this video, expect me to kind of explain both angles of my feelings on this, as I drift back and forth between, oh, this looks really cool, and oh, what the fuck did they do to my show? Now, before I deep dive into this, I need you guys to know, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers isn't like my favorite show, but I have a lot of respect for it. I watched it when I was fucking 4 years old, and because I was 4 years old, I don't remember it perfectly. It wasn't my favorite show. My favorite show was either Ninja Turtles or Darkwing Duck. And I didn't see most episodes of it because I was 4. It was 1989. I could not watch every episode every day. And I never got the chance to rewatch it when I was older because they never reran it. And quite frankly, I didn't care enough to seek it out. In general, I can remember the basic premise of like a basic episode, like some weird sick animal would come to the Rescue Rangers for help and they needed to solve a mystery that was either being caused by Fat Cat, the Mafia Cat, or some nerdy ginger scientist who needed to get laid, or alternatively, it was something completely different. Now, I want to say, I think it would have been completely fine and safe. We could have just gotten a normal reboot, reimagining of Rescue Rangers, like the DuckTales reimagining we got like a few years back. It didn't have to be 2D, it probably would have been 3D. They probably would have recasted all the characters as celebrities, and it seems like for this one they did that anyway. Now, as much as I hate to admit it, I think they're gambling on a subversive, fuck the fans kind of movie. Now, there's been a few things lately that have been classified as fuck the fan movies. Like Star Wars The Last Jedi. That's a real fuck the fan movie because everything the fans wanted, they got the opposite. There was also the Lady Ghostbusters movie in 2016. In each of those movies, the villain was an audience stand-in. It was like some nerdy fat guy who was supposed to represent the audience having like bad opinions of the franchise. And everything you expected that would have happened in any of those kind of movies was just completely undercut by these like out of nowhere, not what you expected moments, just to give you something that you couldn't predict because it was too irrationally stupid for anyone expecting a competent story. And I want to say those movies failed because they fucked with something everyone loves, which was Star Wars or the Ghostbusters. This is Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, though. It's not a beloved property like that. It's something that's really outright loved by a very slim faction of animation-focused, nerdy millennials who grew up with the show in the late 80s, early 90s, and if they're lucky, they remember it now. I saw the show when I was 4 because that's when it aired, and pre-Disney Plus, you could not see reruns of the show. Like, for whatever reason, when the show went off the air in 1992, Disney never re-aired it, and it was impossible to rewatch it unless you went way out of the way to pirate it, way out of the way to buy the DVDs. Long story short, there was no way for the common person to watch it until Disney Plus came out in like fucking 2021, 29 years later. And as a result of that, no one under the age of 30 knows who these fucking characters are. And for that matter, everyone over the age of 40 also doesn't give a fuck. There is literally a very narrow group of 30-something millennials who care. So yeah, I guess I can see why it was smarter money to make a fuck the fans kind of movie. But then I'm also holding out hope that it's a Roger Rabbit sequel, because if I gotta be real, Roger Rabbit is bigger business than the Rescue Rangers. And I'm saying that because, yeah, Roger Rabbit appears in this trailer, and that character is really fucking difficult to bring out of retirement because he's owned by a massive cabal of Steven Spielberg, Warner Brothers, Disney. A lot of people have to sign off on the rights to Roger Rabbit to bring back Roger Rabbit. Disney could just use bonkers, but no, they're going all the way out on this. So, again, that intrigues me. Now, this movie is being anchored around John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. Of course, there's a bunch of other garbage celebrities shoved in there as well. Mulaney and Samberg, not my favorite actors right now. Start with Samberg. Samberg's just a loser, and this is probably his breakout role, maybe his best chance to become famous in his life, but he's so much of a loser that I really don't give a shit about him. John Mulaney, though, very complicated guy. Now, if you had asked me in 2019 who John Mulaney is, I would have said, John Mulaney? Why, he is the best white stand-up of our generation. He was an unknown SNL writer. He talks like an old-timey radio or a Chicago gangster. Not an Al Capone kind of Chicago gangster, one you never heard of. But he was Spider-Pig in Enter the Spider-Verse, and yeah, really enjoyable guy. That guy's great. Unfortunately, the pandemic happened. And as COVID drove the world insane, John Mulaney might very well be the singular celebrity who had the most negative reaction, biggest downfall due to the pandemic. See, during the COVID quarantine pandemic, John Mulaney shut himself in his apartment, and in his own words, he did not know how to deal with the hard switch between non-stop fame and parties to sudden years of isolation. And somehow, in the midst of all this, he got majorly addicted and started abusing drugs. He pretty much destroyed his entire life after that. He eventually ended up in rehab when his friends intervened with him, and he abandoned his relatively cute, seemingly successful hipster wife that he had been married to for like a decade, driving her to an almost supervillain level of madness. Although some people said that the jury's out if she was actually already crazy before he left her, but she's saying that his actions drove her into madness, which is understandable because of what he did. He was super successful one minute, then the next thing you know, he's an abusive drug monster. So yeah, John Mulaney's a bad dude now. And on top of that, he goes to rehab, he runs into Olivia Munn, they immediately have no condoms raw dog sex, and he knocks her up on the first try. So now they have a bastard kid together, and as far as I know, the dude is not fully off of drugs yet. He's cleaning his act up, this is like his comeback movie. I hope his kid's coming out alright because that's a drug baby. But yeah, for all crazy, irresponsible shit that people have gotten canceled for lately, I am utterly surprised that John Mulaney's massive drug problem, his trashy treatment of women as objects to make him babies, that's just been awkwardly laughed at and glossed over and ignored by most of the country while he continues to book another $1 million TV special, another feature film, and he hosts SNL every year. So is John Mulaney doing really good, or is he spiraling into, a John Belushi situation? Nobody knows. But hey, so now he's here ruining this cartoon. So that's a check against him in my book. I mean, I guess he's funny enough, but he's really not what I imagined for Chip or Dale. In the whole show they had these high-pitched voices. Now they don't. Ugh, that irks me. Anyway, they're just really shitting on all the traditions here. So let's start now the breakdown of the trailer. So the trailer starts with this really bogus-looking fake opening for a fake behind the music kind of show. This is really stupid, and it honestly looks too fake for my blood. When I first saw this trailer, I thought this was honestly like an ad for Taco Bell or some other weird commercial because it's just so jarringly bad looking. Then they play the old Chip and Dale opening theme. They play it on an old-timey TV like I had in the 80s. I respect this. Sad note here, the animation in the shot is the best in the entire trailer because it was properly made in the 80s when that shit was done right. Then we see this weird Chip and Dale super fan shrine room. I don't know why this exists in the movie. This has to exist for some context in the course of the film. I hate to say it, but I think this is the bad guy's hideout. I think the bad guy is potentially a Rescue Rangers superfan, and we're gonna get this lame meta audience stand-in villain like Kylo Ren. Then we flash back to the rap party for the original Rescue Rangers cartoon, where everything is presented in this Who Framed Roger Rabbit context, where you see the old Rescue Rangers cartoon was actually filmed on a set with living cartoon beings. You see the cartoon set behind them. You can also see several Toon crew members in the audience, and you see a deep cut reference where you see Paula Abdul and the animated cat she dated. That is a very long story I do not want to get into, but yeah, that happened. Paula Abdul is maybe being de-aged, but in the trailer she just looks like modern day Paula Abdul, wearing 80s clothes. Anyway, Chip and Dale look awkward as fuck in the scene. I have to call it out now because I'm noticing this shit. Chip and Dale, just specifically them, they seem to be CGI. They seem to be cel-shaded CGI, and they've got this uncanny valley look for a couple of major reasons. They look too smooth, they look too slick, and somehow despite this, they have this fucked up look in their eyes. Their eyes just never look right. Then we get this big Roger Rabbit cameo. Again, Roger Rabbit, duly owned by Disney, Warner Brothers, Amblin Entertainment maybe. So bring him in here, some very serious shit is going on. I'm ideally hoping that this movie is really a spiritual successor to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Not like it's going to star Roger Rabbit, but like it's literally going to like follow up like the events of his movie, and it's going to be like a modern day like update to what his world was, that world where cartoons were real and like people had to live besides them, and like, you know, you had like freaking like Judge Doom and all that shit. I'm dying to know what that fucked up crazy world would be like in modern times. Then we get a short scene of Dale and MC Hammer Pants. This scene looks good. Then we see the entire Chip and Dale gang. They're cel animated. Again, you can see that they look slightly wrong. Look at that weird fucking look in Chip and Dale's eyes. Why are they looking like that? They look like bad Chinese bootleg knockoff Chip and Dale dolls. Then we get a very nicely drawn Variety magazine, and we flip over to Modern Times. In Modern Times, now Dale is CGI. He looks ultra real and too creepy. They explain that the CGI is like bad plastic surgery for the tunes to keep them relative. Dale, again, looks like Alvin and the Chipmunks in their recent horrible movies. And the Mulaney Chip is basically a brand new character. Again, he keeps having this wrong dead look in his eyes. At least Monterey Jack looks okay. Oh wait, no, they made him a heroin addict. Motherfucker's been sucking dick to buy some cheese. Oh yeah, leave it to a bunch of rich celebrity drug addicts to make jokes about other non-successful, less successful celebrity drug addicts. Yeah, sure. Anyway, so next thing you know, they're in a fucking opium den, full of cheese-addicted mice, acting like old Monterey Jack used to look in the cartoon. Now, I'm not sure why they ended up here or why Dale was wearing a tuxedo, but I'm assuming there's going to be some cruel and obnoxious joke coming out of it. Then shit gets really weird. They go to a Comic-Con because apparently Dale stays alive by signing autographs at Los Angeles Comic-Con. You see a bunch of bad cosplayers here dressed up as like Borat, Pee Wee Herman, George Jetson, and who the hell's this guy? He looks like he's from the 30s. Is he a Dick Tracy villain? Oh, and there's also this stereotypical fat girl here wearing a Batman shirt, which again, another big clue. Disney does not have the rights to Batman. Warner Brothers does. So there's some very serious major cross-company synergy on display here, and I am so curious about what that's leading to. I hope it's not leading to Space Jam 2, but hey, it's leading to something. Then there's also this toon hipster girl at the con. Massive strangeness. Again, massive, crazy implications of modern day Roger Rabbit world. We also see this blurry zoom of the Rescue Rangers playing in live action. I'm guessing that's the finale of the film. Then we're back in the FanCon in LA, as it's claimed to be titled in the universe. You can see some basic anime knockoff Sailor Moon cosplayers, a Toon T-Rex and a Toon Monkey, and the only booth with any recognizable text I can see is for I Am 8-Bit in Los Angeles, my favorite video game themed art gallery in Los Angeles. I used to hang out there a lot, met some cool people there. Anyway, then we get the super weird crowd shot. The crowd shot is weird because, first of all, you see this cloaked evil lion toon, but then there's this fucking anime MILF here. And again, holy fuck. Anime women exist in this world? Anime waifus exist in this world? What the fuck is this world? You can also see this jacked Master Roshi looking motherfucker behind her. And yeah, so is Goku real in this world? Horrible, horrible implications. Like, you just have to like open up this door and be like, is this a stealth Who Framed Roger Rabbit sequel with fucking anime added in this time? The complications, again, are maddening because Who Framed Roger Rabbit was set in the 1940s, so Astro Boy hadn't happened, anime hadn't happened. But yeah, in a world where all toons are real, post-war Japan starts to get very, very strange. Then there's a dumb, easy joke about Chip's Indiana Jones costume. A little way too on the nose, if you ask me. I wonder if they're gonna do any on-the-nose references to Dale's Magnum PI shirt. And then we see Zipper lighting a rocket on the Rescue Rangers plane. Zipper honestly looks way too 3D in this scene. First time I saw this trailer, I thought he was 3D. Because of the way he's interacting with the match, the lighting, I only noticed that he's actually 2D when I paused the frame here. And also, reviewing this trailer frame by frame, you can also see Gadget is flying the plane because it's her plane, she built it, no one else knew how to fly it. But at least they didn't erase her like freaking Andrew Garfield in the No Way Home trailer. Also, you can see from this minor appearance that she's not wearing her goggles from the show, and she might have a slightly shorter haircut. By the way, rumor online is that the plot of this movie is that Chip and Dale have to rescue Gadget from something. That's why she's barely in this trailer, aside from the flashback scenes and this blink and you'll miss a cameo. There are several rumors about what this movie is about, ranging to it's about online pirates who are trying to copy Gadget, the real-world Russian Gadget worshipping cult who think she's literally the Messiah, or a typical creepy incel superfan bad guy like the bad guy from the 2016 Ghostbusters movie, who again somehow kidnapped Gadget and, is probably tied into that Rescue Rangers merch room from the start of the trailer. Anyway, then there's some dumb action scenes for the kids. Dale rides a rocket. You see a SWAT team with guns and some very mysterious garbage robot. It looks like freaking the garbage robot from Adventure Time. And then Chip and Dale are lost in a sewer. And once again, I'm amused that reviewing this frame by frame, you can see cel-shaded Chip looks good in the scene, but CGI Dale looks like shit, which is really an interesting animation comparison. Anyway, then we get another shot of them driving. I fucking hate Chip's eyes again. An inexplicable cameo by fucking Scrooge McDuck in his money bin. Or maybe not, maybe it's just a toned down money hot tub. I guess you can't take the duck out of Duckburg even if you move him to LA. Anyway, then there's another action shot where they get shot at by lasers. And again, once again, pausing this frame by frame. 2D Chip looks good here. 3D Dale looks like a fucking blurry gray blob abomination. Then you get another blink and you'll miss a cameo by a snake wearing a hat. Who the fuck is this? I don't think there was a character like this in Chip and Dale, but I know there was a major villain that had this motif in Tailspin. So I'm wondering if that's who this is. Then we get an awkward scene featuring Aladdin seen from behind, as well as a bunch of CGI giraffes from maybe The Lion King, and two identical copies of what seems to be the chick from Treasure Planet using a tablet computer. Weird that there's two of her, but I did notice her. Then we get a very cringe-inducing scene where they're riding the fucking My Little Ponies, who look completely awkward, completely off. The CGI on them looks wrong, it's cel-shaded again. But again, they're not Disney IP, they're Hasbro, they're Paramount. So, horrifying sequel consequences for postmodern Roger Rabbit Toontown universe if they have both anime waifus and ponies to fuck. And then there's this final bad guy at the end. I don't know what to make of this dude. He has a CGI Care Bear head. He has the torso from Disney's Robin Hood. He has Emperor Zurg's armbuster from Toy Story, Wreck-It Ralph's arm, and some RoboCop legs. Okay, whatever, dude. Also, he's being hit by a Jurassic Park style banner. It's falling onto him, and pausing it, I can see it says, "Welcome, Prince Jam." Okay, that means nothing to me right now. Then we get the title, and then after that we go into a post-title joke sequence where we see a creepy cameo from the cats from the movie Cats, who again are cat-sized human monster things, and it's very disturbing. I haven't seen Cats, but I've seen enough videos of people freaking out about it. Then we get a very on-the-nose joke about bad fucking Uncanny Valley CGI like the old Robert Zemeckis movies from the past decade. The ones that look super real but totally wrong. I wish I could laugh at this, but the bad CGI on Chip and Dale do not make them any better than the shit in my eyes. And then Seth Rogen comes out. Seth Rogen comes out as this weird Beowulf Shrek troll dude who can't make eye contact with anyone because they didn't animate his eyes. And it's a very revolting cameo. They make a joke about how badly animated he is, and once again, the bad cel shading on Chip is jarring, plus this weird dead look in his eyes. And then there's the shot here where it's the most obvious shot in the entire trailer that reveals he's cel shaded. You can see this movie is fucking up by using real lighting effects on cel-shaded characters that breaks the effect, and that really threw me off earlier when Zipper appeared too. I want to fucking punch Seth Rogen in the face. The last fucking thing in this trailer is Seth Rogen doing his retarded stoner dolphin laugh. And I fucking absolutely hate him. I want to throw him out a window. His character showed up for a total of 2 seconds, so why are they giving him the last fucking line of the trailer? What the fuck is he even laughing at? Is he just laughing to imply this movie is a comedy movie and not a meta-contextual nightmare of modern-day consequences of the Roger Rabbit Toontown universe? But fuck Seth Rogen. He's Hollywood's richest pot dealer. He stiffs his crew members. The fact he's doing these corrupted reboots of everything I held dear in my childhood makes me just utterly despise him. They should have tied him with a rope to James Franco and sunk him to the bottom of the dark ocean. And then the last thing is, oh hey, look at all the celebrities in this movie. Don't you care about celebrities? And a bad rap song plays. Also, is it just me, or is Keegan-Michael Key, Will Arnett, and J.K. Simmons like seemingly in every movie that comes out nowadays? Has the pool for Hollywood movie stars shrunk this much? I swear to God, when I watched this trailer the day it came out, I thought I saw Tress MacNeille's name on the list of stars at like third to the bottom. Is that like an instant Mandela effect thing? That's ironic because she was the only voice actor who is in this movie and not a Hollywood movie star. But now that I'm reviewing it now, her name's not on the list anymore. So did they remove her name? Anyway, she played Gadget in the original show, and I'm assuming they got her to reprise the role for this movie. Otherwise, you know, maybe the Russian Gadget Messiah cult is going to fucking riot and kill some people. Although I wonder how they're going to react if they end up being the villains in this movie, so that will amuse me. Anyway, yeah, I have no idea what to think of this trailer. Like, aside from fuck Seth Rogen and John Mulaney, come on, man, get your life together, finish rehab, be a good father to your bastard love child, maybe make some peace with your insane ex-wife, pull her back from the brink of madness. Come on, John Mulaney, you're better than that. Anyway, if this movie really does deal with the fucking insanity of what a post-CGI, anime waifu, pony waifu, Roger Rabbit world is like, then yeah, I'm mad curious about what the fuck this movie is and what the fuck that world is. Interestingly enough, the film's not rated yet, so it might be more risque than the typical Disney film. Or otherwise, that's just wistful thinking and Disney's gonna hard R it into the ground. Maybe that's why they put it straight to Disney Plus, because it's too weird and awkward. Either way, like I said, I have no idea what to make of this trailer. Is it going to be the next Force Awakens? I don't think so, because, again, people just don't love Rescue Rangers like they do Star Wars. Is it going to be the next Roger Rabbit? Could be. Is it going to be a traumatic and maddening exploration of the future of the Who Framed Roger Rabbit timeline? That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, I have Disney Plus already, so, you know, I'm going to eventually get this movie for free instantly. I just had to see cute Baby Yoda, and, you know, Loki was a cool show too. Although, in the end, I'm fucking so sick of Seth Rogen. I do not want that fucking ugly Donkey Kong motherfucker, drug kingpin, anywhere near my reboot of Darkwing Duck now. I did a whole separate video about that from a year ago if you're curious. That story hasn't updated at all, so that information's still relevant. Anyway, I'm me and Buster Green, and every once in a while, I have very strong opinions about overly meta, fourth-wall-breaking reboots of beloved cartoons from the 1990s starring drug-addicted women abusers and funded by their wealthy drug dealer friends. Please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. Thank you. Good night.